Hi, it's Kathy from Bishopstone Yarns, and I'd like to welcome you all here for episode 38 of the Bishopstone Yarns podcast. And this episode is a sit and spin episode of what I have as my crafting blog. I usually do 1 week I do a knitting and kind of sewing kind of podcast, and the next fortnight I do one mainly on spinning. So yeah, this week it's a mainly spinning podcast. I am coming to you from Tasmania, which is the little island to the south of Australia, and it is, I think, the 20th of February. And what can I say? Well, the weather has been, we have had some really lovely warm days. We've had some quite windy days, and we've had a few really, really cold days. I have been down to the beach and been for a swim, and the water is still really nice and warm. And so that's really, really nice. I know that some places have, the north of the state has still been getting a lot of wind and a lot of rain, but down here, so far so good. Everything's been going okay. The garden's okay. We've had a little bit of rain, and I'm probably going to have to go out and water the garden probably a bit later if it doesn't rain today. Hopefully it's going to rain, but we'll see how we go. For those who are new viewers, welcome. It's really nice to see you. It's really great that you've popped in to spend a bit of time with me while I talk about my crafting. If you like the video, give it the thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed, then subscribe, because that helps me out here on this part of the YouTubes. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's great to see you. I'm happy that you're back, and sorry last time about the last video, the sound wasn't very good because I was using my phone, because for some reason my camera just didn't want to work with my computer, but I think we're all fixed and better now. Hopefully, let's hope it's all fixed. Yeah, and so if you're trying to find me around the internet, you can find me as Bishopstone Yarns on Facebook. You can find me as Bishopstone Yarns on Instagram. You can find me as Bishopstone on Ravelry, and I also have a blog on Blogger called Bishopstone Yarns, which I add to now and again. And that's about it, really. That's where you can find me, and yeah, I suppose we could get into it. So as you can see, usually I'm just sitting in a different spot in my studio today. Usually I'm sitting kind of in the corner with all my yarns behind me, but at the moment I am facing this way, so I can show you this yarn that I'm going to be working on today. Well, at least this is what I'm going to make a video about. This bin of yarn is, this is all yarn that came from my sheep when we lived in our previous house. We don't have any sheep anymore. We've moved to a much smaller place. So for those new viewers, we moved to a new place a couple of years ago, and we don't have any sheep anymore. But this was still some leftover yarn from my sheep, and I dyed this last year in, well, I think it was around about July or just before July, when I was getting oh, wait on, was it July? Maybe it was August. After I had done a whole big spin up for Tour de Fleece, and I wanted to dye the yarn up to knit a jumper, and so I decided at the same time to dye up these fleeces. So if I remember correctly, the top fleece here, this one is Apollo Bay. So these are all landscape dyes, first of all. So this one was a landscape dye Apollo Bay. The next one, this one here, the really bright pink one, is landscape gallah. And for those of you who know what a gallah looks like, it's very gallah-like, and which is a bird here in Australia, gallah. They're kind of grey and pink. And this colour down here at the bottom, which is one of my favourite colours, is the landscape colour Dusk. So this is what I'm going to be working on in this video. And I think what I might do is I'll just go through and have some videoing of me preparing this fleece. I'm not sure if I'll get around to starting the spinning in this video or not. But what I'm going to do is I will start by teasing this out, and then I will eventually run it through my drum carder. I think I'll run it. Will I run it through my drum carder? Yeah, I think I will. And then when I've run it through the drum carder, then I will decide whether or not I'm going to, whether I will spin it woolen or worsted. Because if I decide, it depends on how, then whether or not I decide to put it in my hand carders and make Rolex, because I haven't spun from Rolex for quite a while, so that would be kind of quite fun to do that. I'll see how we go. I will start preparing this. I need to go and get myself a little basket to put the fibre in. I also need a bin because there are still, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a few little bits of vegetable matter still in the fleece. So I will go and get myself a basket to put this in and grab the bin. Okay, I am back again. So I have my wool here, and while I was looking, I found my little comb here that I might need in case while I'm teasing this apart, whether or not I come across some big knots or anything. And I have this basket here, which does have a small amount of brown fleece in the bottom, but I've got a plastic bag I've just put down there to separate the two. So I'm just going to have that, and I have down here just a plastic bucket that I can use for any scraps. So I think what I'll do is I might start, I think I might just leave the blue there for a minute. I might start with this pink. So as I was saying, it was round about last, I think, July when I dyed these up. Now, I haven't done anything with these since I dyed them and let them dry. They've been sitting in this bin since then. So as you can see, especially with this one, I really should have my apron on, shouldn't I? As you can see from this one here, it's quite compacted. It needs quite a bit of work before I can spin it. So maybe if I just start with half of this, what I'm going to do is just take little bits of it and gently tease it apart, so that when I do come round to putting it into the drum carder, or let's just say if I was, if you weren't going to use a drum carder, if you're going to use your hand cards, then it's so much easier if you have it just slightly teased apart like this. You can see how you can see a bit easier if you put it like this. Yeah, so just making sure, and then I'm just going to pop it into my basket. So I've got them all neatly ready to go. At the same time, while I'm doing this, what I can end up doing, because I'm just teasing it apart, I can make sure that there isn't any vegetable material. So if I come across any bits of grass or thistles or anything else that I don't want in there, I can just pick that out and put it into my rubbish bin. And at the same time, I can just have a look and see if there are any short bits or any, I don't know, any bits that I know are not going to make not going to be very good for spinning. I can just take them out and pop them into the bin while I'm here. I don't know if you can see here or not, there's a little bit of vegetable material, so I can just kind of pull that out, pop it in the bin, and then just keep going. So this is what I'm going to be doing here for a while, is just sitting here and picking my way through this. Oh, sorry about the squeaky chair. I will be picking my way through all of this lovely fleece, and I think that's all I'm going to be doing for a short period of time. So I might come back to you when I have done a bit more, since I have all of this and all of this to go. I'm sure you don't want to sit there and see me pulling apart all of this. There we go. Okay, I will go off and continue doing this, and I will be back and see you in a little bit. Finished sorting out half of this pink here. So as you can see, it's a lot lighter and airier and floppier. I have got that in my basket ready to go. I have my bucket here full of, a little bit hard to see, isn't it? Few bits and pieces that I have pulled out of the fleece. I've got my drum carder up here ready. I'm just going to finish cleaning this off. It's still got a little bit of kind of lighter coloured fleece on it from when I finished using it just recently. So I'm going to take that off, and then I'll do a bit of a video of me putting this fleece here in through the drum carder. Okay, and I'll see you at the other end. So I think what I've decided, I have done a little bit on the drum carder. So here's the bat that I did on the drum carder. So this was just one pass through the drum carder, and I've got some more on here which I started, but I'm just finding, because this is quite a fine fleece, it's a merino cross and it's very, very fine. I'm finding that I'm not really liking what I'm getting off the drum carder as much as having a go with the hand cards. So I thought I'll have a go with the hand cards and then I'll see what I'm thinking. So I'll leave my back there. Then I've just got here next to me, I've just got some of the fleece that I've already teased out a bit. So I'm just going to pop some on my hand carders. Just load this up with not too much, just a little bit. But if you can kind of see, maybe if I can show you there, it's quite fine. It's very fine, this fleece. And so, yeah, I don't think the drum card, I just don't think the drum card is really working as well as I was hoping it was going to. I think this fleece is probably just a little bit too fine to be putting on the drum carder, unfortunately, because I was hoping to get through and do all of the drum carding done. But even though I might say this is a slightly slower way of preparing the fleece, but I don't know, maybe it's not in the long run. I mean, I have also been finding some, I guess it's hard to show you, but some very shortcuts, like, and the little ends, some of the tips are not worth keeping because they're too short to spin. So I've got my little bucket here, my little rubbish bin to be putting bits and pieces in. So I think I'm liking this a lot better. I think it's giving a much better card. I think it's getting it much more even, and I think it will be much nicer to spin. And also, just as I go, I can pick out these little bits that if I leave, there's some little tiny short bits that if I leave in there, they'll end up just becoming like a little bobble in the yarn, which I don't really want. So I don't know if you can see that up there, nice and wispy. So that's looking quite close to what I would like. And since I'm doing it on the hand cards, I think I will just roll it by hand into a roll-lag. I could use the hand carders to roll it into a roll-lag itself, but I thought I'll just use my hands. There you go. There's a lovely little roll-lag ready to go. So that is the first of many roll-lags that I will have to do. I'm not quite sure how many actually I'll get out of all of this, but I will continue working on this. So I think I will forget the drum carder for the moment. I will go back to using the hand cards and make a number of these roll-lags before I start spinning. And also gives me a chance here to just clean off my hand cards of all these smaller bits of the fleece that I don't want. I think I'm going to end up with a little bit of waste from this this yarn. I've got some dry ends, I've got some shortcuts, but we'll see how we go. I'll keep going and I'll come back to you later. Well, I'm back again. I've been doing a little bit of work. I've been continuing on with my hand carding. So I've got my hand cutters here, which I was using. And from the half of the fleece that I was using, I still have all of this left to card up. And I've got another half over in the bag as well. But this is what I've made so far. So pick up my Rolex without squashing them too much. They're going everywhere. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have ended up with a handful of beautiful Rolex to spin. I was hoping, I don't know why I thought I was going to have enough time to card up all of that fleece today and get it ready and start spinning while I was making this video. But I'm going to stop now. I'm going to have a bit of a break, and I don't think I will get around. I don't think I'll be able to, well, I know I won't be able to do any spinning today. I will finish making Rolex and get some spinning underway, and then hopefully before I see you next time for a sit and spin, which will be in a month, hopefully I will have had a chance to have a look at some of the other colours that I showed you before, the dusk and the blue, and card some of that up. But I'm quite looking forward to spinning up my little Rolex. I'll do a video, as well, me spinning up these, and I think what I might do is I'll end up weighing these and then trying to divide them into 2 equal parts, so I can have an equal amount to apply together. And not a bad little haul for today. Quite happy with that. So I think I'll pop those in my basket. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this short little video of me getting not a lot done. But I'm much happier with the Rolex than I was with making the bats. I think it's using the hand cards have given me much more even, much nicer fibre prep for this really fine fleece. And we'll see how it works out when I do a bit of spinning. And I will catch you later. Bye.